Hey guys, one of the most frustrating things guys tell me that they're confused by is why women act hot and cold. For example, have you ever been starting to date a woman and you think everything's going great and you text each other almost every day and you see each other a few times a week and everybody's happy, happy, joy, joy, and you think you found someone really special and you think about what lies ahead, but then she stops texting quite so frequently, or she starts canceling plans without rescheduling. So, logically, you ask her if you did something or said something wrong. But she claims she's just busy or tired or whatever. Her erratic behavior can be very frustrating. So what happened? There are essentially two reasons why women act hot and cold. One has to do with you, and the other has to do with her. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Anna Jorgensen. Welcome to Just the Tip Tuesday. So in this video, I'm going to reveal to you what you might be doing wrong or what might be wrong with her. So be sure to stick with me to the end. But first, let's cover this fundamental truth. You may not know that nearly everything women do is to stay feeling safe, both emotionally and physically. In fact, feeling safe is a primary need for all of us, but women process this need a little differently than you do. Whether by nature or nurture, women view the world through a subtle lens of fear. I don't want to go into the whole long story of why that is. I've covered it in other videos, but suffice it to say, women are always on the lookout for danger. And even though we can take care of ourselves financially nowadays, so we don't have to worry about being homeless, that's only one of our many fears. So you're probably wondering, what the heck does women being scaredy chickens have to do with women being hot and cold? Well, just stick with me here. I'm going to explain it. I promise it's going to make sense in a minute. But first, what are some of women's fears? Well, some of women's fears might be, like you, fear of not being able to find someone and maybe becoming the crazy cat lady later in life. Rejection from community, failure and its consequences or embarrassment, success and its pressures, being a terrible mother, not being a mother, judgment of society, and heavily self-judgments, just like you. So why do women act hot and cold? And how does fear play into it? So it's probably easier to describe with some examples. Let's start with the crazy cat lady, which, if you haven't noticed, cat lady. Okay, so what do I mean by crazy cat lady? What I mean by crazy cat lady is that if she actually has low relationship market value and she knows it or she believes it, even if society doesn't say so, then she's going to be constantly wondering if you're going to figure that out and leave her. So she might pull back to save herself from getting too attached or to get you to chase her. Might be subconscious, might be overt manipulation. Depends on the girl. If you want to know what some of her manipulation tactics might be, you'll want to watch a video on my 6 manipulation tactics exposed video, which I'll leave a link at the end or below the video on YouTube. And remember, women are not the only ones who might go cold as a preemptive strike to getting rejected. Men do this too if they're really insecure, if they feel like they are going for a girl or have got a girl who is out of their league. You might find yourself self-sabotaging, and that's essentially what a woman might be doing if she's going cold and you've been really good to her. And just like you, key point, she may not even be aware she's doing this. Now, if you've ever been the one who self-sabotages, then you definitely want to get my Wake Up to Love program, because it's going to teach you how to not do that and how to feel worthy for the right girl, because you will be worthy for the right girl for you. And I'll put a link below, of course. Next example. If she is shunned by the tribe. Okay, so maybe things are actually going pretty good, but then you've done something legit, or maybe not even that legit, that she's a little worried about is going to be judged by her family or friends. So remember when we had to really rely on a tribe to be able to get by in the world? Well, we still need that kind of connection and acceptance from the people that we care about. So if she's really close with either her family or her friends, and or your values aren't aligning and she's finding that's a little tap on the shoulder for her, then she might be pulling away to reevaluate things to see if the things that are bothering her are really significant or not really significant. And she may be leaning on her tribe to try and figure that out. And you might be thinking, well, Anna, I'm not dating her friends or family. And you're right. I know that, you know that, and even she probably knows that. But if she's had to rely on those people quite heavily for support, then they're going to be important to her and their opinions are going to be important to her. This is not necessarily unhealthy. We all need someone that we can have as a sounding board and to help us through making difficult decisions. And why it may matter to her is because if she ignores the suggestions or input of those loved ones, are they going to reject her? And especially, are they going to reject her if what they say about you turns out to be correct and then she and you end up breaking up and then she's got no one? That would suck for her. Now, the other fears of failure, success, motherhood, not having a children, judgment and self-judgment typically fall into the same category of safety and basic survival with concern about being judged, ostracized, or expelled from community. But there are also times when a woman's acting hot and cold isn't about basic survival. So if the previous suggestions don't apply and there isn't actually something fundamentally misaligned in your compatibility, then a woman becoming hot and cold becomes about standards and expectations. So we all have standards and expectations. Some of them are higher than others, some of them are lower than others. We are all often very different. So let's go back to our original example where you're dating this woman and everything seems to be going well, but then things start going sideways and she just won't say why. What happened? So as mentioned, there are essentially two reasons why women go hot and cold. One has to do with you, the other has to do with her. First, let's say you did something bad that triggered an innate fear inside her. For example, you casually say, maybe you're watching a movie and it's relevant to the scene. You say, probably every guy would cheat if given the opportunity as long as he never got caught. Ooh, she's like, uh-oh, ding, ding, ding. Not the good ding, 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 fill her up. She's talking ding, 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 danger. So what this might do for her or to her is tell her that you might cheat on her one day because your belief system thinks that's possible for all guys. Even if she grew up in an emotionally safe and stable home, her expectations and standards are, in this instance, that monogamy is not only possible, but she believes in monogamy and she wants to be with someone else who believes in monogamy, even if that's completely delusional in the real world. So by saying all guys will cheat if given the opportunity if they don't get caught, that does not make her feel safe with you in this particular example. So she might go cold to, again, try to figure out if you really do align in your values and beliefs and potential as a long-term mate. So distance allows her to see the situation a bit more clearly without being emotionally involved and evaluate whether or not she actually misses you. And she often doesn't even know that this is why she's pulling away. She just knows she needs some space to herself. So she may not be able to verbally articulate why she's doing what she's doing, but these are some of the reasons why she might be going hot and cold on you so that you understand when it does happen or if it does happen. And key point, even if she does know why she's pulling away, she may not want to jump the gun by telling you, because jumping the gun by telling you might create tension or even a breakup when maybe one isn't necessary. Okay, so now what about if her going hot and cold is about her? Let's say things are going really well and you've been really good to her and there's no red flags that have come up for you or for her so far that you can think of, and maybe you did something really good by saying something like, I do believe in monogamy and I'm going to treat you like the queen you are forever. Like you're all in. There's no question that you're going to be loyal to her for eternity. At least that's your intention. But then she goes cold. What happened? Well, as alluded to earlier, sometimes a woman will go cold if she's triggered into self-sabotage. Maybe she didn't have a healthy childhood and her experiences and her references for love weren't healthy. Maybe her parents broke up, or there was not a lot of love there, or there was a lot of yelling, or there was absence, or whatever. So if she didn't have a very healthy reference point, then anything that feels unfamiliar to that is going to trigger her to not believe in the truth of it. Or maybe her dad cheated on her mom, or mom cheated on her dad. So in this case, her standards may be outwardly that she wants monogamy, but her expectations internally may be that she doesn't believe it's actually possible. Remember, key point, we tend to be drawn to what's familiar because familiar equals comfortable. And you might even relate to this yourself if you've grown up in a situation or childhood where it wasn't that emotionally healthy for you. Guarantee there's probably some areas you're sabotaging yourself, whether or not you're even aware of it. We've all been there. So in this example, if you're treating her too well and that doesn't feel natural to her, then she might be going cold because it feels unfamiliar, and or she's worried that it's not real and you are going to leave her when you figure out whatever negative thing about her that she doesn't think you've figured out yet. Or she's recreating the pattern that happened in childhood with her father leaving or divorcing or cheating. So she pulls away, seemingly to get equilibrium, but really she's just really uncomfortable in that healthy situation. Now remember, you guys who are fix-it hat wearers and damsel in distress rescuers, emotionally damaged women may or may not get over their baggage, just like you may or may not get over your baggage. But you can potentially help her get through it with time, consistency, and effort. But there's no guarantee she's going to stick with you once she gets healthy. She may become such a different person that she has different values, different goals, different standards, and different expectations for who she wants to be with. And that may or may not include you. So all that investment might be for naught. Nada, zilch, zippo, etc. And I'm not suggesting that you ditch and run at the first pink flag, but if there are a lot of red flags, watch my red flag video, then you definitely want to pay attention to that and ask yourself why you might be sticking with something that is really challenging. We're all a little bit damaged. We all have past trauma and baggage that affects our ability to be emotionally healthy in relationships. So if you're waiting to find the perfect healthy person, but you're not that perfect healthy person, then you're not going to be able to attract that person anyway. We tend to be attracted to our emotional equal. So usually we end up having to work through some of this baggage within a relationship. But if you're aware, awareness is the first step to change. If you're aware that there is some baggage on your end, because there wouldn't be baggage on just her end. For you to be attracted to her, there's something in you that might need a little tweak. So just remember, we're all a little bit broken, and don't ditch and run at the first pink flag. But if there are a lot of red flags, then yes, you do owe it to yourself to not put yourself through that essentially self-abuse by staying. Now, the way you handle a woman going hot and cold is essentially the same, regardless of the reason for it. And people's insecurities shouldn't get in the way of them being able to have a great relationship. So let's say you do meet a gal and she's got a lot of the qualities that you're definitely looking for in a long-term mate, but she also has certain issues that I've mentioned earlier. So you need to know how to navigate the relationship so you don't trigger her insecurities, just like you would want her to know how to navigate the relationship with you to not trigger your insecurities. It's a two-way street. Both have to make the effort. I'm just here giving you the information that can help you on your end. And luckily, there are ways you can do this so that you can avoid missing out on your wonderful relationship with the woman you're interested in. All you have to do is follow a few simple steps, and she will not only warm up to you, she will be hot for you. She'll be the one trying to win you over. She'll be texting you and wanting to get together with you and initiating that. So if you're in a situation where maybe she's starting to pull away a bit, you want to watch my video, what to do when she pulls away, long-term relationship versus short-term relationship, because there's certain things that either you've done that can be corrected or that are red flags about her that you'll need to know about so that you can figure out what your next steps are. So watch that video now so you'll know what to do if you're in this situation. Thanks for being here. God bless.